Does it do, YouTube? It is your boys, Frank and CJ, back at it like a bad habit. If you want something, go grab it. Welcome back to another episode of Seibel Shoots, the final Seibel Shoots. As a matter of fact, Frank, it's the end of an era, the end of a season. It's all that good stuff, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing just fine and dandy. It is a little chilly here in Colorado. It's actually really cold. It's Yesterday it was windy as shit, and today the weather is actually a lot less windy. Um, Yesterday the wind was like 19 miles per hour. Today the wind is only 5 miles an hour, so that's a huge step up. Uh, it's currently 47 outside, and yesterday it was 41, but it felt like 22.
Oh, okay.
So it was, and I had to go out yesterday and clean up dog poop, and I came out, and I went out today and finished the job, and it's like apples and orange. It's like night and day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, anyway, we're not here to talk about CJ doing chores. This is the final Seibel Shoots, and my friend, we got some stuff to chit chat. So let's get the stuff out the way. It is the month of November.
Yeah.
What do you got planned for Thanksgiving? Anything big and fun?
Not much. Not really.
You're not going anywhere. You're not having anybody over.
Nah.
Huh? You gonna do a turkey dinner at least?
I don't think so. We haven't done turkey dinner in a long time, man. A long,
Really?
long time.
Do you
Yeah.
guys get together for Christmas
Everybody,
at least?
everybody's busy around the holidays.
Oh. Um, we're going over to my sister's once again. She's been doing it ever since she moved into her house up by us. So she does it every single year since, gosh, I guess 2019, maybe 2020. I'll say 2019. Um, and it's my family and her husband's family that gets together, and yeah, it's a fun time. Lots of lots of beer being drank. Lots of food being ate. Any Thanksgiving memories? Fun Thanksgiving memories?
Uh, I remember 2018 when the Bears beat the Lions. That was good. That was a good Thanksgiving.
I remember one specific Thanksgiving. I had a golden retriever named Rocky at the time, and I talked about Rocky a couple times on my channel.
Yes. Yes.
And one time, and that this one Thanksgiving, he was still like a puppy. I think he was like a year old, maybe two.
Yeah.
He jumped up onto the counter and stole a piece of the turkey. It was hilarious.
Right.
Um, I love Thanksgiving, man. I love Thanksgiving. What is your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
The turkey, obvious. The turkey, macaroni and cheese, and the mashed potatoes. Pretty much that. That's
For
right there.
me, yeah, those are my top three, and the rolls.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you like pumpkin pie?
No.
Okay, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
The
whoa, whoa.
only type of pie I eat is pizza. That's literally it.
Pumpkin pie is my favorite pie. I love pumpkin pie. I like pizza pie too. Don't get me wrong. I like a good pizza. Actually, I had pizza on Friday. Uh, I'll talk about what happened on Friday in a minute. But yeah, I had pizza on Friday for dinner. Um, and I think you know why we're going to talk about Friday in a minute. Friday was the big boxing match. Um, and I'll give my opinions on that in a second. Um, but yeah, we went to me and my dad. We went to go pick up the pizza at Marco's, and through and we got there, and they were backed way the hell up. That place was busy, and when I say that they were backed up, it wasn't because the workers just weren't doing their job. And it wasn't because they were understaffed. They were just slammed. They were working their asses off, and they had like a bunch of people. I mean, nobody stopped and stood around for a second. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, and at one point, there was a little boy in the pizza place, and he just started going, "Ah!" and I had to go to the bathroom. I walked past him as he was doing it, but
Mm,
when I walked past him, he stopped. I go in the bathroom, all of a sudden I hear, ah, ah, again, right?
the fuck?
Right. So I walk back out of the bathroom and I walk past him again
Yeah.
and he stopped and I go next to my dad and he started wailing again.
Wow.
I'm like, thank you for not wailing in my ear, kid. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. But yeah, it was the pizza was good. Marco's pizza's always good. Um, and then should we talk about Friday, the boxing fight?
If you want to, you can.
Um, well, basically, so here's what happened, folks. It was Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. And you hear Mike Tyson, right? The baddest man on the planet, right? And then you hear Jake Paul, and you're thinking, "Oh, Mike is gonna knock this fucking kid out, right?" Yeah, it didn't happen. It was it was an 8-round fight, and there were no knockouts in any of the rounds, right? And I was just like, "Wow, really?" I was thinking Mike would win in like the first 3 rounds. He didn't. He didn't even really throw any punches, which I was like, dude. He would sit there, Frank. He would sit there,
Mhm.
and he would every now and again he would like block and then bite his glove. Put his hands up, maybe throw a jab, and then bite his glove. He was biting his gloves a lot. I don't understand that, but whatever. The fight that went before the Jake Paul Mike Tyson match, from a from a fight standpoint, not a marquee standpoint, but the women's boxing match should have gone on last because they went in there and they were throwing. Both women were just throwing. One chick had a cut above her eye. It was it was nasty, dude. Like I was reading some of the comments, you know, and somebody had said when she blinks, so does that cut. I mean, it was. I'm gonna show you a photo. Oh my goodness. It was yeah, no, it was something brutal to see. Right here. And it's because she kept getting head butted. Because the other boxing chick was like headbutting. Let me see. Share screen. What's up?
What?
I thought you were laughing at something.
No. I was
But look at this,
listening.
Frank. Look at that. Look at that cut.
Yeah.
See, I know you don't like boxing, but at least that shit is. I'm not gonna say it's real, but what's the word I'm looking for? At least they actually are wailing on each other.
Mm.
Um, okay, well Frank is very talkative today.
No, you was doing your topic. I don't really have anything to say about a boxing fight, bro. I don't watch boxing.
Okay,
I'm letting you discuss that.
it's
That's
the month of thanks, or it's the month of November. Survivor Series.
okay.
What is your favorite Survivor Series?
For me, it's got to be 2002.
Oh,
That whole
two.
yeah, that elimination chamber was freaking phenomenal. That first
Oh,
one.
yeah. Was that the first one? I thought SummerSlam
Yeah.
'02 was the first one.
No,
No,
SummerSlam
SummerSlam
'02 was
'02 was the
Rock
Three
Rock.
Stages of Hell with Triple H and Shawn.
No, SummerSlam '02 was Rock Brock. Armageddon '02 was the three stages of hell.
So, okay, but Triple H and Shawn had a match at SummerSlam. And it was like a street
Yes,
fight,
street fight. Street fight. No, non-sanctioned.
non-sanctioned fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything goes. Lazy booking. No, I'm just kidding. That wasn't lazy booking. That was actually probably the best way to go about that one. They because
Hate that
Shawn
term.
had just what?
I hate that term booking so much. It's writing.
Jim Cornette hates the term writers.
Yeah, well, good for him. He's in, obviously he's in the wrestling bubble. Obviously he hates the term writers.
But okay, Frank, here's something. I saw this pop up on on the subscriptions today, and actually, I was looking forward to watching this with you. And we're gonna do this on screen. It's not a song.
No, I
It,
know. You were watching. It's Russo.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're gonna watch this together. How about that? And we'll give our comments.
Okay.
Alrighty. So here we go. We'll pause and we'll stop and pause and talk about it. Here we go.
Russo'sBrand.com, where the pros are the pros, bro.
Shout out Vince Russo.
I need a Stevie Richards therapy session today.
Let's do it.
And that's what this show is going to be because, bro,
And Stevie Richards too. I like his podcast too.
Yeah.
listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I
That is a red flag. Whenever somebody does that, listen.
session today,
Let's do it.
and that's what this show is going to be because, bro, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you.
I'm gonna see that. I'm gonna be honest with you. And he stutters at that start. It's like, are you really? Or like the stuttering thing is a red flag. So
I wouldn't say that.
If
No?
I would have went to
I feel like if somebody is stuttering to say something, it means they're not
That could
gonna
be
be
that could,
fully.
that could be an issue. Maybe he has a stuttering issue. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a red flag.
take
He
a
stutters a
steaming
lot.
dump.
Huh?
He stutters a lot. I haven't watched a lot of his YouTube videos recently, but Russo stutters a lot. He might have a stuttering issue.
Maybe.
Dump yesterday, a steaming dump, and I would have took in the dump, maybe a 3-4 bowler, Stevie, and where when you pull out the toilet paper, okay, you pull out the toilet paper. If there wasn't the toilet paper, there was something there that said Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw. What I'm getting at is
This week's Raw was kind of boo boo. I'm not gonna lie. It was. It was taped last week, and the only things that they really did was they confirmed that Bronson Reed is going to be on Solo Steam at War Games, and that they also confirmed the women's War Games teams as well. That's basically all they did. Everything else was whatever.
wouldn't wipe my ass with last night's Monday Night Raw. I wouldn't wipe my ass with it. I am not going to waste 3 seconds of my freaking time talking about it when the bottom line is, oh, okay, Seth.
Just to tell you how bad it was, I was at the bar with my uncle, and I asked them if they could turn the channel to Raw. They said we can't because there's a Bronco, or because there's like a football game and there's a hockey game, and I wasn't even upset about it. That's how bad Raw was this week.
Seth Rollins is going to join the babyface team because Solo Sequoia stood up on a desk. Okay,
And I don't like that either. I don't like Seth Rollins because here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Let's talk about this for a minute, Frank. Roman and Seth have had a feud for years, right? When's the last time they team up? I don't know.
I have no idea.
The Bloodline story is fantastic. I love this whole story. Everybody's playing their part well, right? Jacob Fatu, fucking beast. Anyway, you got Sammy and the Usos coming to Seth Rollins, asking him, hey, can you join us? Help us beat these guys? And Seth is saying, no, I don't fucking like Roman Reigns. That makes sense. Seth saying I don't like Roman makes perfect sense. Because, remember, WrestleMania this year, Seth and The Rock had that tag match with Cody and Roman. So why would Seth then team up with Roman after that? Right?
I guess.
Right. I don't blame Seth for saying no. I don't, and they're obviously they're gonna have Seth on Roman's team. They're gonna do that. I don't like that. I do not like that. Just because he's feuding with Bronson Reed, I doesn't mean he needs to be in the War Games match. Here's what I would love to see happen. I would love for them to make it seem like it's going to be Seth. It's going to be Seth, right? Maybe even pull a SummerSlam 2010 out their ass, and do it this way, where Seth says no, Seth says no, Seth says no, which in 2010 Miz was saying no to joining the Team WWE against the Nexus at SummerSlam 2010, and then at SummerSlam he came out, changed his mind last minute, and John Cena's like, "Oh no, no, we've already found somebody. You're not it. Go away." Same can be done here, where Seth's saying, "No, no, no. Oh wait, I changed my mind. I want to beat Bronson's ass." And then Roman says, "We found someone else." And all of a sudden you hear, look in my eyes. What do you? It'd be CM Punk, right?
Okay. Hang on, I'll be right back. One quick second.
That would completely make sense too, because I know that Seth and Punk have their beef here, and that could build that feud going further. Anyway, let's continue to watch this.
That's the angle, Stevie. He stood up on a desk, so now I'm going to join the debate. I'm not even going to talk about that. Stevie, help me. Help me. I'm doing a lot of soul searching, Stevie. You and I may be the biggest soul searching. I don't think me and you ever stop soul searching. Am I right? I don't want to speak for
It's
Stevie.
absolutely exhausting.
Okay. Yeah. Me and Stevie soul searching is a full-time job. Am I right, Stevie?
Yeah.
Okay. Stevie, I got to be honest with myself. I came to a cold, hard fact yesterday. Bro, I am no different than a list full of people who I absolutely despise. I am doing the same exact thing that Jim Cornette is doing, who I despise. Eric Bischoff is doing, who I despise. Bruce Pritchard is doing, who I despise.
Is this the first time he's admitted to despising these people? Because I've never heard him say that before.
Who do you say?
He said, "I despise Jim Cornette. I despise Bruce Pritchard. I despise Eric Bischoff." I'll run this back a little bit.
I think I don't think he's ever said, he's always said he has no beef with Cornette. Cornette has a beef with him. With Pritchard, I've never heard him say
I absolutely despise.
Right here, listen.
I am no different than a list full of people who I absolutely despise. I am doing the same exact thing that Jim Cornette is doing, who I despise. Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that'd be the first time he ever said that. Because he has always said he has no problem with Cornette. Cornette has a problem with him, and I think he pretty much said he never really, he does occasionally, because like if Pritchard will say something about him, he'll have his response, but he mostly more talks about Cornette because Cornette's the guy who always
has something to say.
Who I despise. Bruce Pritchard is doing, who I despise. Michael Hayes is doing, who I despise.
Paul
Heyman is doing.
Hayes.
What?
I've never even heard him talk about Michael Hayes. Now, Paul Heyman, I know he does not like Heyman in ring.
Did you just mention him?
Yeah, he was about to, right as you
Who I despise. Who I despise. Paul Heyman is doing.
Okay. I don't know if Michael Hayes has a podcast or whatever. I don't know the beef there, but
I despise. I am doing the same thing that all those people who I despise are doing. Stevie, I'm pushing 64 years old in a couple of months, and I literally am sitting here talking about something I absolutely hate. There is no joy. There is no excitement. Not only that, it sucks. It's horrible. It's an absolute joke that people like you and I have to sit there and freaking watch this. It's an absolute joke. It is nothing but 100% work. That's all it is. There is no enjoyment whatsoever. Bro, I'm no different than Jim Cornette at this point in my life. I came to that cold, hard fact and realization yesterday. And Stevie, I got to look that in the eye and I got to own it, bro. The only difference between me and them, here's the only difference, Stevie. They're still marks for it. They are still marks for it. They still love it. They would still be in a wrestling ring some.
What's up, Tro?
Hey, what up, Tro?
Tro says, bro, what the hell am I watching, bro?
Tro, what's up, homie? I gotta call Vince out here for being a hypocrite. Listen here. Well, I'm gonna run it back a little bit.
The only difference between me and them, here's the only difference, Stevie. They're still marks for it.
So are you, buddy. So are you.
How? How is he a mark for it?
Because
they are still marks for it. They still love it.
Just listen.
What he gets paid to do. So he's still talking about it because he gets paid.
And they're doing what they get paid to do.
No, he's talking. Well, he's talking about the fans, or is he talking about the guys you mentioned?
He's talking about the guys he mentioned being marks.
Well, yeah, they get paid for it too. Yeah,
be in a wrestling ring somewhere if they could.
He says they would be in a wrestling ring somewhere if they could, and you wouldn't. Don't do that.
No, Vince has said he does not want to be in wrestling anymore. He has said that for years now. Tro says last ever episode. Yep. But yeah, no, Russo has said he's done with the wrestling business. He doesn't want to deal with the damn politics or anything like that. He'll do the indies, like he writes for some indie promotion called whatever the hell it's called, Rocky Mountain Pro. But he does not want to deal with the politics of being in, a major promotion. He has been saying that for years.
Hey, Tro, when did you want to cover the show with me? Because I know we had a show you wanted to cover. What was it? Yeah, I just mentioned SummerSlam 2010.
Yeah.
So when do you want to cover SummerSlam 2010? When works for you? I'm down for whenever, bro. Just let me know.
We just did. We're still on the road to WrestleMania 15. We did the Raw after. What was it? St. Valentine's Day Massacre. We'll be doing the next Raw, which will be the 22nd of February, sometime this week. Me and Tro will be back on that. We'll be doing
right before Thanksgiving, huh? Maybe on Thanksgiving.
I don't know.
Back to this.
I'm sure Tro will be back. I don't know what Tro's doing.
And I absolutely despise it, hate it. That is
can't stop talking about
as far as job
because that's now wait, pause it. This is what I'm talking about. You say he can't stop talking about it. The reason he can't stop talking about it when he despises it is because he gets paid to do it. That's the thing. He gets paid to do it. He says all the time, if he was not getting paid to watch Raw, he would not watch Raw. He does not watch SmackDown. He has said that because nobody's paying him to do it. So he does not watch Raw. I mean, he watches Raw. And if nobody was paying him to do it, he wouldn't watch it. He has been on the record for that for a long time.
Okay.
Me, I don't get paid to watch it, so I don't watch it at all. I don't get paid to watch any of it. If you pay me like $1 million to watch Raw, I mean, maybe I would watch it. Because we can't blame anybody for that.
Maybe one day we'll get you there.
Hey, Stevie, help me, Stevie.
Well, I'm here for the man who actually created the Dr. Stevie character, so this is very, very appropriate.
Steve, there was a reason for that, Stevie.
When you invested all the money and time into the therapy set, you were actually so forward thinking. You said it's going to be like 15 years later.
Yes.
We're going to use this set either virtually or in real life.
Yeah, here it is, Stevie. Help me. I'm Jim Cornette. I'm Eric Bischoff. I'm the same guy, Stevie. Help me.
I swear to God, if I still had the Dr. Stevie lab coat, I would put it on right now. Okay, for everybody listening, watching on the brand, this is literally peeling back the curtain into our day-to-day lives and our conversations. Because I've been pushing for you, Vince, because you're a big sports fan. You never are going to fall out of love with sports, especially your favorite teams, or you never actually have fallen in love, out of love, I should say, with I says the romance of radio. I said, the intimacy of radio. So taking the video aspect off and just doing a radio show. And that's something that you initially had a 5-year plan back when you were 59 or 60. Believe it or not, we're pushing almost 10 years of doing this with you, myself, and Ben.
Yes.
That's a great accomplishment, but we don't feel like it's an accomplishment because we're not influencing the business in the direction we do. The difference between you and those guys you mentioned, they're still holding out
some Tro, if you're still here, homie,
that they can change the business, which
Hey Tro, if you're still here, homie, when did you want to do the SummerSlam 2010 review? Let me know.
It's way too far gone in one direction, whether good, bad, or indifferent. As far as you, I think it's still a start at yesterday to try to use this, which you have built up all these skills to maybe take you somewhere else. You and I are believers, and I always believe God put you in a particular position for as long or as short as you need to be there. In this case, very, very long. And I would say that you need to utilize those skills, that recognition, and what you build in your brand to carry you possibly somewhere else. The business is going to be okay with or without us. The business will never die. We can admit that. It will never, ever die. It's way too big, making way too much money. It has the benefit of being a live presentation, a live weekly presentation, which is why everybody seems to be getting overpaid with their TV licensing deals, including AEW.
That's something I will always agree with, that obviously the business, what WWE took that company, the company of WWE has gone to a place where it's never going to be destroyed because they make so much money. They're on top of the world. So obviously if WWE is never going to get destroyed, then pro wrestling will never get destroyed. It'll always be around.
Right. And even if somehow, some way it dies on television, locally there's all kinds of independence to keep wrestling going. Independence. You know what I mean? Whether it's a one-off or whatever. Because, I mean, you look at the state of independent wrestling today versus let's say, 20 years ago, or let's go early 2000s, 20 years ago. Early 2000s, there was Ring of Honor. That was an indie company, considered an indie company. TNA, I think, was considered an indie for a while.
No. Bro, they started on weekly pay-per-view. That's not indie. They were not indie.
Fair enough. Still, okay, Ring of Honor, technically. IWA Mid-South. NWA was still kind of going, but it wasn't what it was in the 70s, 80s, whatever. And that was basically your three indies. I mean, there wasn't really that many indies, whereas today, indie wrestling is not just confined to indie wrestling. Indie wrestling it's on internet pay-per-view. It streams online. I mean, but what I'm saying is back in the early days, or back in the 2000s, there wasn't online streaming for pay-per-view.
No, obviously not. No.
And there was not a way to watch these shows. Ring of Honor was the way that they made their revenue, their money was
VHSs,
DVDs, VHSs, exactly.
Well, they weren't.
Shimmer as well.
Yeah. It was all from Rob Feinstein, his RF video thing.
Yeah.
That's what Ring of Honor came from, RF video.
So, I'm focusing on you,
Stevie. A couple of things off of that I want to talk to you about, and bro, you're going to be proud of me because Stevie, I'm always always dabbling here, there.
Hey, if you're watching this podcast right now, if you're watching us right now, take a drink anytime Vince Russo says bro.
There, but more revenue streams. I'm just like you. Create more revenue streams. Blah 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 blah. Stevie, you will be happy to hear. Just so you know, like I'm constantly aware of this. I'm constantly working at this. Okay, I am starting I got turned on to it by Disco and Joe Feeney and Conan. They are on a platform called Believe. I brought it up here a couple of times. I brought it up with you. It's called Believe, BLEAV, like Believe. And I signed up with them, Stevie, and I'm going to be starting every Tuesday and Friday. I'm going to be starting a 30-minute show, and it's called Until My Head Explodes, where wrestling is never brought up. So I'm dipping my foot in the water. But just so you know, Stevie, like, again, man, it's Coach, runs an entire of sports platforms, sports betting. I mean, Coach is really great at sports betting. That's really what he does. So he wanted to get me involved. So we hooked up with Sportskeeda, and we gave him a show that was pretty much half NFL, half wrestling. And, since the season started, we've got what now, 12 weeks or something like that, whatever it is, 10 weeks. Stevie, at the end of the day, they're not coming to us for NFL shit. They're coming to us for wrestling shit. And that's what it always goes back to.
And that's the other thing is, I'm not going to pay attention. I'm not going to watch any more of this. But that's the other thing is pro wrestling it has gotten so much bigger in the past 20 years, right? You became a fan in '02, you say,
Thanksgiving 2002.
Yeah. In '02, I mean, you look at that roster of Brock, Kurt, Eddie, Ray, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and then underneath, I say Rey Mysterio. He kind of. You look at that main event roster of Batista or of Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, The Undertaker.
One of the greatest main event star power. That's the greatest main event star power from the
Brock. Brock Lesnar. Yeah.
From the Attitude Era all the way to like that early Ruthless Aggression era, that there will never be a main event scene that will ever come close to even touching that.
It's
the 80s, had Hogan and Savage, but yeah.
It's funny you say that because I'm going to pull up the WWE roster here.
Are you trying to tell me the current roster can touch the back then?
Well, I'm going to throw some names at you and you tell me what you think.
Besides Roman Reigns, no.
Really?
Yeah, you can throw any name at me you want. Besides Roman Reigns, no.
AJ Styles.
Hell no. I've said it on this channel a million times. AJ Styles is one of the most overrated performers in the history of business. Yeah.
Big E.
Big E was entertaining, but no. Is he back? I thought he.
No, he's on the roster. Gunther.
Hell no.
You haven't seen much of Gunther.
I've seen a little bit of him. He's bland. He's just more of a fighter character than
Braun Breaker.
I like what I've seen from him. He seems like the future star, definitely.
Bronson Reed.
I don't know much about him, but no, he doesn't look like a star to me.
Okay. CM Punk.
No.
Cody Rhodes.
No.
Damian Priest.
He's all right, but no.
Drew McIntyre.
No.
Bruh. Dominic Mysterio.
He's entertaining, but no. These guys can't compare. They can't compare it to that main event scene.
Gunther can compare to Brock Lesnar. Stop
Hell no, he cannot. Hell no.
Stop it.
He cannot. And I'm not just talking about Brock Lesnar. You keep bringing up Brock Lesnar. I'm talking about from the Attitude Era, from the late 90s when you
Are you talking about star power or in ring?
Yes, I'm talking about star power. Who gives a fuck about in ring? I'm talking about star power.
I'm talking about match quality. But,
I don't give a fuck about match quality.
Okay, just a star power. Just from star power. Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley.
They're stars, but they can't reach back then. They're not on that.
Oh boy. John Cena.
John Cena doesn't wrestle anymore.
Yeah, he does. 2025 is his final year.
Retire. Right, he's about to retire.
I'm looking.
If you want to count John Cena and Roman Reigns are pretty much the only two guys. But John Cena's retiring.
And John Cena is also Ruthless Aggression, but
yeah.
Obafemi. I could see him being a big star.
I don't even know who the fuck that is.
He's on NXT. I don't expect you to know who that is. Randy Orton.
He's another one who's like pretty much almost done.
I don't think so, but okay.
Didn't he have the injuries and all that?
Sheamus,
yeah. He's all right.
Solo Sikoa.
Don't even know who the fuck that is.
Jacob Fatu.
Don't even know who the fuck that is. I mean, I've heard of those.
Sounds like you need to do some research.
I don't need to do some research because that shit's boring. I don't want to watch wrestling in 2024.
I guess I see your. I guess I could see your. I'm sorry.
I said it was about to be 2025. I don't want to watch wrestling in 2025 either. Until they do something that makes me say, "Holy shit!" I think I need to start watching again. They haven't really done that.
Okay, what? What the hell is up with my internet? Hang on. My internet's crapping out on me. Hang on.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're good. Give me a thumbs up real quick. Are you going to give me a thumbs up?
Do you not see it? You don't see it? Oh, you froze. Hold on a minute. There you go.
My internet's.
Do you see it?
What's wrong with my internet? Why is my internet being this way?
Because somebody else is
Why is the internet being this way?
Because somebody else is using your Wi-Fi.
No. I'm going to leave and I'm going to come back, okay? Look up real quick. Look up.
Yeah, I'm looking up.
Here, do this. Oh, okay. I think we're good. Man, my internet's just like, fuck you. I don't know what the hell's going on, but like you froze and then it was doing the stop captures. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you don't want to watch wrestling in 2025 because they're more focused on the in-ring work, and that's to me that's a goofy reason not to watch because the in-ring is what matters.
Imagine you watch a movie and you say, you know what? I only want to watch for the fight scenes. I don't even care. I don't care about everything else. I'm just
the fight scenes are cool. Don't get.
I'm not saying they're not. They absolutely are. But imagine you watch a movie, and it's literally just 2 hours, depending on how long, an hour and a half, 2 hours of just the fight scenes. And there might be a little tad bit of some type of story, but it's
Endgame. Have you ever seen Avengers Endgame?
No, I don't watch it.
Bro, see, that's the problem. Bro, I swear to God, dog.
I'm more of a TV show guy anyway. But if
okay, then take out the Avengers. Then take out the Avengers.
Okay.
And let's say that there's actually, you know what? Hang on, because there are episodes of like Chicago PD.
I don't watch.
What show do you watch?
You know the shows I watch. I watch a lot of old
Sabrina and Charmed, right? Okay.
Not just that, but yeah, old sitcoms, old drama shows.
Okay. Charmed. Okay. Imagine an episode where there was talking involved, but it was mainly action. Like, let's say, I don't know, Prue gets sent to the third dimension. I don't fucking know. Prue gets sent to the third dimension, and she's got to get out of there in a timely fashion, right? She gets let's say it's at the end of one episode, she gets sent there, and it says like you have 1 hour to get out of this, and that's where they cut it off. And then the next hour is they gotta show her trying to get out of that dimension, but she's got to go up against all of these obstacles. So it's constantly freaking moving, right? Action. And you got the other two bitches, Paige and Piper or whatever, Piper and
Phoebe.
Whatever.
Same Prue, there's no Paige.
Okay, Phoebe and Piper. And they're trying to get to her. She's trying to get to them. They're trying to find each other. It's action. Do you want that, or do you want them to say, we're never going to make it. It's going to be too late. Instead of racing against time.
What does that have to... Okay.
I'm asking you, would you rather watch them sulk?
I would rather them worry that they're not going to make it, because that would add more drama. Like they're really close to actually not getting out, and there's so much drama out of that. But in the end, they pull out. Yeah, sure, I would like to see that. But I would rather not be that type of episode at all, because there's other stuff to Charmed than just the fight scenes and the where in this guy. There was storylines that were involved in Charmed that was more than just. First of all, I've always said that one of the greatest storylines from any drama show is the Cole and Phoebe storyline that took place over like 3 seasons. That is one of the greatest storylines in the history of television, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, imagine if you take out that Cole and Phoebe storyline and it's literally just they're fighting with not witches, they're fighting demons, and it's literally just that. Literally, 1 full hour. Take out the without the commercial, about 40 minutes. It's just 40 minutes of them fighting demons.
With like the last demon being the one that's really hard to beat, and they almost don't beat him.
There's still not a story to that. Like I'm saying, you don't understand what I'm saying. Like I said, when you throw in the Cole and Phoebe storyline, all the drama that came into that, there was more than just them fighting random ass demons on all these shows. There was drama of a storyline between Cole and Phoebe. It was more than just. I'm saying take away that drama, and it's just 40 minutes of literally just them fighting demons. Like, that's boring. There's no storyline to that.
That's boring to you.
That would be boring to me, yes. I'm not saying it's boring to anybody else, but I'm saying it's boring to me. There needs to be a story to it. And not the story of, oh, we won. Yeah, we went through hell and back and won. That's not the type of story I'm talking about. Now, I would say when you're telling that type of storyline, you do want there to be a little bit of, drama to where they have, it looks like they might not get there, but then they do. You have stories like that. But
so it comes down to
entertainment.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Like it comes so close. Like they're gonna lose, so close that they're gonna lose, and then.
Okay. You're not understanding.
No, I am. Listen to me. You like the stories where they're fighting, and it looks like they're not gonna.
Again, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying if you're telling the story of a fight story, that's what I'm saying. That's what makes it interesting when they're at the obstacles and stuff. I'm talking about not those type of stories. You need more than just those type of stories.
Oh.
Is what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying when
like
you
the
take
relationships and stuff.
that, okay, some of those, that's what Cole and Phoebe was about, the relationship and how Cole was using Phoebe and all that shit. Yeah, that is definitely helps make the show great.
I would agree. I would agree with that. I know that.
But that doesn't mean like every story has to be a relationship story. Obviously,
right,
not.
right, right. Funny you say this because I actually I watched Chicago PD and Chicago Fire, right?
Yep.
And the early seasons of both shows, let's say seasons 1 through 3 for each season.
Okay.
They had them. The shows were about them putting out fires or catching the bad guys or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But
Just that there wasn't anything in between.
no. Listen to me. They had that, but it also focused a lot, especially those early seasons. It especially focused a lot, especially Chicago PD, because Chicago Fire still does this. But Chicago PD in the early seasons focused a lot more on the personal lives
There you go.
Of these characters, which was really cool. Whereas now, like in the current season, their personal lives only matter if it's pertinent to the storyline. Like, say one cop is dating somebody who is connected to a bad guy.
Yeah.
In the episode, which I don't really like.
But that, you can make some good stories out of that.
You can, but they don't do that. That's the thing. They don't do that. It's like,
you're saying they don't do that. Oh, okay.
No, they don't. They don't do that anymore. It's like one and done here. I mean, there was an episode last season where two of the main characters they got engaged again for what, the second time, right?
Right.
There's been no talks of a wedding at all this season. They have not delved into that.
They could be building up to it being the season finale.
Maybe I could see.
Normally, a wedding episode is normally a season finale.
Yeah, yeah. So they could be building that up, but yeah, it hasn't been mentioned much, if any at all. I haven't heard anything. Or on Law and Order SVU, you don't really see much of Benson outside of, I mean, you see her as a mom, but you don't, it's not like they focus on that, which
right.
I don't know.
Yeah. So what since we got into this topic, I always look, people can like whatever they like. There's no problem with that. I'm only talking about what I like when we bring these discussions up, and we're talking about what we like. We're not saying what somebody should like, But what annoys me is whenever I talk about how I like the storyline aspect of pro wrestling, everybody's like, well, how can you not enjoy the wrestling? It's all about the wrestling aspect. It's like, look at any TV show out there. Yeah. There's always more. There's always more than just the main plot, the main aspect. And like we're saying with Charmed, it's more than just that they're just witches. There's more to the show than them.
They're just sisters. They're family.
Well, yeah, that, and there's the story of that. But yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Any type of show, and that's what I'm saying, it would be boring. That's what pro wrestling is like right now to me. You take Charmed, and they're just witches fighting demons. There's no story to it. They're literally just going around fighting whatever demons they see with no story build up to it, with no reason as to why they're fighting. Like,
That's you would love. I'm telling you, Frank. Well, you've seen some of it, I guess. So I was going to say, you would love the Bloodline story.
Yeah, see, I do like what I've seen from the Bloodline story, but it's still not a storyline that I'd put up with stuff from the Attitude Era or the early Ruthless Aggression Era.
Well, you can't compare everything to that.
I'm not comparing. I'm just saying that's why I like the Attitude Era and Ruthless in early, not the whole Ruthless Aggression, in early Ruthless Aggression better. because that shit was really good. It was better, in my opinion, than anything that goes on today, including the Bloodline storyline.
Fair enough. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this episode, this final episode of Seibel Shoots. We want to thank everybody for tuning into Seibel Shoots all this time. We're still going to come out with more episodes and stuff like that, so we're not going anywhere.
More of our wrestling reviews, our F&C reviews, or
we'll still cover certain we'll still cover other topics. Don't worry about that. But
we'll probably come up with some different type of show. More different name, one day.
Until next time, he is Frank. I am CJ. We are out. Deuces.